you could start in a seat, or you could also lie down onto your back, whatever feels more comfortable. But in this position, I want you to be able to fully relax and let go. So as you close your eyes, empty before you begin. So just give yourself permission to fully be present. And as we practice meditating on the breath here for the next minute, watching the in-breath and the out-breath, if you notice yourself getting carried away, let go of that without any judgment. And just come back to the breath. Good. Then open your eyes. Stand on your knees. We'll do a couple of stretches to start off. Bring your left foot forward from this lunge position. And don't worry, you don't need to have striped socks on. That's just a preference. Just take your arms up overhead, and with your left hand, take your right elbow. Reach from your right hip down into the ground so you're not leaning forward at all, you're not arching your back. And as you inhale, lift up through your elbows and your side ribs. As you exhale, side bend over to your left. Inhale, reach up and lift through the side ribs. And exhale, side bend to the left. Now holding the side bend, tuck the buttocks. Turn your heart up towards your right elbow. Come back up. Bring your elbows down. Change legs. Take your arms up overhead again. Grab a hold of the left elbow with your right hand. Buttocks under, ribs in and down as best you can. As you inhale, lift up. Exhale, side bend. Reach the hip down as the side body opens. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, side bend. Now as you hold, draw the buttocks under and turn your heart up towards your elbow. Meditate on your breath. Let go of any judgment of like this is. Notice right away if the inner critic takes over, like this is going well, this isn't, I should move deeper. Whatever types of thoughts that you have, can you just let go of it and just experience where you are in the stretch? Am I the only one that does that? Am I crazy? I don't know. Breathe through your nose. Come back up. Raise your arms up. And then change sides. With the left foot forward, now wiggle the left foot over to the left significantly so you're in this like wider lunge position. And then we're going to do lunging reaches. So lunge towards your left heel as you stretch your right arm up and over. Inhale, come back up and cactus your arm, squeeze it down. And reach back up and over. Inhale, come up. And reach over. Come back up. Change sides. Right foot goes out to the side. Exhale, reach over. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, squeeze in your back muscles, you open your chest. And exhale. Come back up. Put your hands down onto the mat. Now turn your fingers to point out to the side, the thumbs to point forward. And we're just going to rock side to side here, mobilizing the wrists. Then turn the hands to point forward and let's do some circles around the wrists. change direction, leaning into the forward position here. And then you can just do half circles in the forward position if you like, increasing the amount that the back of the wrist can open and improving the closing angle in the front of the wrist. And then let's turn the hands around as best we can. So for some, if you have really tight wrists and forearms, just turned out might be enough stretch. For others, you can turn the hands all the way around, and don't try to force yourself. Then once you find that position, come into cat-cow, 3 rounds, flow with your breath. And just notice the change in sensation with the hands reversed. And today, really giving yourself permission to let go of grasping and forcing, but instead just being where you're at with the breath, observing, and seeing if the breath can allow for more opening and space. Then come to neutral and visualize yourself as being very strong and very flexible. Even parts of your body that you consider as not that strong and flexible, visualize your whole body as being as strong and as flexible as it could be today. Your breath staying calm, helping you to keep calm. And then step one leg back into plank position and the other, maintaining neutral with your spine so you're not sinking, you're not arching. Feel as your body heats up, how much stronger you feel. Feel the blood pumping through the pressure of your arms pressing, starting to increase the demand on the heart here. And just notice how good that feels. And through the struggle and strain, we build more strength and resilience. And through our practice, it's not that we're trying to eliminate any suffering, but as Thich Nhat Hanh said, we become more comfortable with the suffering through the practice, the suffering of holding the plank, so that we don't try to eradicate it or resist it or arrest it automatically. Instead, we can just observe. Okay, that's what it's like. We don't always have to be happy. It's okay to suffer a little. Set the knees down, stretch back, child's pose. Then come up onto your hands and your knees and glide the hips forward for a modified up dog position. Engage the glutes as you engage your back muscles and open up the front. The back squeezes to open the front. And then close down in the front like a cat position as you stretch back. We've been practicing this little flow here. Come up and feel the back engage. Engage the hamstrings, the glutes, the back muscles. And as you squeeze in your back, can you feel the front opening better? And stretch back. And as you close the front, feel the back open. Last one, roll forward. Squeeze them glutes, engage back muscles, roll heart open. You can even look up if it feels all right, if you feel a nice continuous curve in the spine. And roll it back. Really drop into the child's pose now. And then come up onto your hands and your knees and stretch it back into your first downward facing dog. And look forward. Step or hop to the top. Inhale into your length. Exhale, fold. Roll yourself up. Engage glutes, engage back body. Come into a little extension as you raise your arms. And then up through neutral, soft eyes straight ahead. Spread the arms and fold forward. Now drop your buttocks into a chair. Take your arms forward. Thumbs point up. So you sit into the chair, feel the center heel bones, your big toe mounds and your little toe mounds. But your back and the heels more in this position. And then lift your arms up. Step your left foot back into crescent. And I'm doing a little angle forward here. The little angle forward is helping me to reach the tailbone or buttocks out of the lower back so that the energy can come up through the thoracic spine, long in the lower back. Step forward, chair, change sides. And just feel all the heat building from holding your arms up for so long. Can you stay with the uncomfortable feeling and breathe to find a little more ease? And just know that through that you're building more strength and endurance. So a little bit of discomfort is good. Step forward into the chair and fold forward. Oh my gosh, thank God that's over. I almost couldn't talk myself through that one. Inhale to a flat back and step back, plank pose. Lower to chaturanga, legs straight or knees down. Pause. Use your core, lift yourself back up. Lower 1 inch above the ground. Pause. Strong core, press up. Lower all the way down to the ground and lift your hands up 1 inch. Feel your back muscles squeeze. Good. Now place the hands next to your side ribs and inhale into your low cobra. Lower your heart. Medium cobra. Roll your heart down. Roll up into your higher cobra. Back down. One more time. Roll up. And down. Press up to plank. And stretch back to down dog. And look to the front of your mat. Step or float up. Inhale, get length. And fold. Sit into chair pose. Inhale your arms up. Take your arms forward and cross your left leg over your right. Left elbow under. Uncross and tip into warrior 3. Step back for crescent. Maybe you can come more upright now that you feel more warmed up in the hips. Still maintain the space through the back, lower back, back ribs, kidney ribs. If it feels like you're on a tightrope, wiggle your right foot to the right some, and then hook your left elbow for crescent twist. If you feel your right leg feels too fatigued to where you can't maintain your stira, or your stability in the pose, then just drop your back knee down to the ground. You always want to honor where we're at in the practice, where we are approaching the practice from the mat. Of course, we want to work and push ourselves a little harder, but just to honor our own limitations and be mindful. It's really where the skillful action comes from in our practice. Bring your hands down. Take a vinyasa or just step back into down dog. One of the ways that yoga is defined is skillful action. And so we're always practicing this in the yoga practice, walking the line of what is pushing myself towards the boundary, when have I pushed myself too far, and that's only for you to decide. Step or float to the front of the mat. Inhale into a flat back. And exhale, fold. Sit into chair pose. Then cross your right leg over your left and your right elbow under. Uncross your leg and tip. Vira 3. Step back into crescent. And then for the twist. Generally, I think we're much stronger than we give ourselves credit. And we can work and push up towards the edge just a little bit further each time we come back to the mat. Being mindful. Bring your hands to the mat and step back for a vinyasa, or just right back to dog. From down dog, jump to seated. And we're going to practice rolling back and forth a little bit. So from seated, roll yourself down onto your sacrum, your lower back. If it's difficult to roll, you can put your feet underneath a couch to kind of help the legs can help control you. And then once you roll all the way down, stretch your arms overhead, but see if you can keep your lower back down. And then roll yourself up. And this is where that couch might come in handy if you don't have the ab strength yet. But we want to be able to roll up and down from the ground. Sit up tall, and then as you exhale, reach over your legs. Inhale, sit back up, and roll yourself down. Doing a little Pilates here. I like to combine them. Stretch the arms back. Nice big stretch, and then roll yourself up. Sit up tall, reach down to the sit bones, stretch up, and then reach over your legs. If you have the flexibility to, you could do it with legs straight. Roll yourself up and down. Stretch the arms over. Good. Now tuck your knees into your chest. Tuck up to your knees. From this crunch position, take the right leg forward with the lower back down as you reach your left arm back. And reach them as far away from each other as you can. Bring them back and change sides. Stretch the left leg, right arm. You can hold the opposite knee to help to keep your core in if it helps. Lower back stays down. And change. Reach, reach, reach as far away as you can, keeping the lower back flat. And change sides. Reach. And change sides. And change sides. Try to stay up off of your shoulders. Hug both knees in. Stretch your legs out. Reach your arms overhead. And then roll yourself up. Oh, where's that couch? Raise your arms up. And reach past your feet. Nicely done. Now come to a kneeling position. If kneeling is too much, then just sit with your feet in front of you for a reverse plank. Take your hands a foot behind you. And before we lift up into the reverse plank or reverse plank preparation from the knees, roll your shoulder heads so that the front of your shoulders open, the back of the shoulders close in on the back. Your shoulder blades bury on your back without pushing your ribs out. Now once you feel that, elongate through your whole spine. Reach your tail, lengthen through your crown, and just feel how much decompression comes through the neck, how much more opening there is across the collarbones. Then from that position, engage your legs, press down through the shins or the feet, if you have the feet down, and feel backs of the legs turn on to open up the front. And this is a great strengthening technique for the back body to counter and balance out the sitting that we do. Opening full front body, Purvattanasana, stretching the whole front body. Strengthen in the back body, work the glutes, work the hamstrings, feel your back muscles strong. Lower yourself back down. Good. Then stand up on your knees and slowly lean yourself back as far as you can. And come back up. Sit the buttock down. Raise your arms up. Stand up on your knees. Lean yourself back. Go as far as you can. Come back up. Sit back, arms up. Stand up on the knees. Last one. Lean back. And back up. Good. One more time with the reverse plank. You can do it from your knees, or you can do it from a normal reverse plank position with the feet out in front of you, whichever you prefer to practice. First, roll the shoulders, lengthen through the tail, integrate the neck spine, and then once you feel strong in your back muscles, you could start to lift up. Reach down through the shins or the feet evenly, and feel how that gives you better, you can lift more. So you're practicing opposing actions. So much is the play with the opposing actions. We learn that better in the practice. Reach down to lift up. Embrace the suffering to find more peace or happiness. Lower yourself back down. Nicely done. And stretch back into down dog. Last back bend. Stand up on the knees. Clasp your hands behind your back. Roll your chest and shoulders open. Hold here, or back bend and grab a hold of your feet. And then come back up. And check it out. If you're a single leg pigeon person, bust out your single leg pigeon now. If you're not, you could just cross your legs and fold forward and rest your head onto a block or whatever. Often I get the question like, I really struggle with this pose. What other poses can I work on to get better at this pose? And I understand that rationale, but also to get better at a pose, you can just keep practicing that pose. For example, I haven't been focusing on my outer hip mobility with the pigeons, etc. And as a result, you can see I'm up on these blocks in the pigeon, but I've been focusing like crazy on doing the couch stretch and the splits. And guess what's gotten way better? The couch stretch and the splits. They've gotten really good, but this has kind of suffered. So I gotta start working this one in again. So yeah, a better answer would be to find where you can relax, to prop whatever you're struggling with, to prop it so that you can relax. And then once you can fully relax, go a little deeper to find where your body starts to have that apprehension, and then see if you can relax in that position. And then to spend time with it. For if you're really working on your flexibility, If it's a stretch, then you're going to want to spend about 90 seconds in it. If it's a strengthening thing, practicing multiple repetitions. For example, if you're struggling with balance, do it with your hand against a wall and train the balance and do it several times. If you're struggling with tree pose, practice tree pose a bunch of times. 30 seconds on one side, 30 on the other, 30 seconds on the first side, 30 seconds on this, in that way. And that's how you get stronger and more flexible at things, by practicing them more. It's a very preachy class today. Sorry, change sides. I got a lot on my mind with this 30-day challenge, the stuff I've been thinking about for the 30-day challenge. So, but here's an example of the props. I got my hands up on the blocks and I'm just wherever I feel like I can relax. And this is the very last thing I'll say about it. When I took the FRC training, the functional range conditioning, one of the things that the guy who created that system, asked, what's the number one indicator that you'll be able to do the splits when you're in your 50s? What is it? Well, it's that you did the splits regularly until your 50s. So whatever you want to do, just keep practicing that thing. Okay, come back up and make your way into Paschimottanasana. Stretch your legs out and fold forward. And then lie down on your back for Shavasana. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for class today. If you'd like to finish with a 5-minute guided Shavasana, then you can click this link over here. If you'd like to finish with a 5-minute silent Shavasana, you can click this link here. Shavasana is the most important part of your practice, so I recommend that you finish with that. I'll see you next time.